Good day, Guardians. It's been a while. This is Doc from Dusk Realities, and we just wanted to, first of all, appreciate all the love and passion and messages and DMs and everything that we've been getting so far regarding this crazy dream of ours. If you're new to the channel, here at Dusk Realities, we do a little bit of everything. We love gaming, we love food, we love travel, but we also love supporting charity. So everything that we do in this channel in terms of proceeds or every new revenue that comes in goes directly to support charitable organizations that are close and passionate to us. I haven't made a Destiny video in a while, and part of that is because in terms of the content, I am not passionate as I used to be quite honest. I still game here and there, but I'm not passionate as I used to be. There is clearly a disconnect as to what is going on with the game and how many hours I used to dedicate to it. And today, when I saw the director and the development team put this post online, I wanted to get my first impressions and record this video and read it with you. So I guess I can provide some feedback and maybe vent a little, if that is fair to say. I think that there's been at least for me, a lot of confusion, a lot of concern as to where the game is going, because we hear some things and then we see otherwise. And today, when I see the director of the game putting information out or reflecting the heart out, I can identify with that as a business owner myself. I often think about the many failures, the many opportunities, the many ways that I could have improved. And I am hoping that from this narrative from Joe Blackburn that we get to see some of that expression here. So let's get started, shall we? Reflecting on LightFall Launch and beyond. We're just over a month into the launches of LightFall and Season 20th, and there has been a lot to take in. Today, we'd like to dive into the feedback we receive, the gameplay updates and quality of life improvement we've been cooking up, and an early preview of what we've been planning for next season. But first, we want to start by giving a massive thank you to the millions of players who jump in with us so far. You're very welcome. With LightFall's launch, Destiny 2 saw its biggest number of concurrent players in years. That's a good thing. We welcome more new lights, returning players, and daily active players than we did with the Witch Queen's launch last year. We surpassed our sales expectations for a new expansion, and we were absolutely blown away by the record-breaking viewership for our world's first race with Brutal Nightmares. Congratulations to the team. They're amazing players. LightFall's OST even debuted as the #1 soundtrack on iTunes against some very steep competition, which warmed our hearts to see. But just as with any new expansion this year, we have our work cut out for us as we pave the way for what's to come. Here's Destiny's 2 game director Joe Blackburn to kick things off. Hey Guardians, we're floored by how many new and returning faces have been devouring Destiny 2 these last few weeks, and while it's clear the initial experience we delivered on day one didn't provide the full clarity we originally planned for what we set our creating LightFall, the team has taken the feedback to heart in both what's coming this year and how we are ending the Light and Darkness saga in the final shape. I think part of the reason why this expansion was so successful at the beginning in terms of numbers, honestly, it's because of the marketing. The marketing was life-changing, and I even talked about this in another video. It was incredibly awesome, the marketing. And we all thought that we were finally going to understand the difference between light and darkness, what the veil is, what the witness is, this power. We got absolutely nothing of that. It was just a massive confusion that I'm still trying to understand exactly what the veil is and where we go on with all of this. Over the last few years, the team has set a high bar for what to expect from Destiny 2 Evolving World, and we are committed to making sure the resolution of the first saga lives up to that legacy. I'm hoping too. We'll continue to build towards the resolution throughout the year of LightFall, and I can't wait to experience the conclusion to this saga alongside all of you as we make our way to the final shape. Of course, there's plenty to come between now and then. We've taken a broad look at our community feedback across the game since launch and have seen working to address several areas in the coming weeks, while we're also forging ahead on content for our upcoming seasons. Let's get into things we're building and improving in response to your input on LightFall so far. Ranking up. Hey everyone. It's this one. Let me stop there for a second because ranking up is it's a tough one. I'm still trying to understand the system, but let's go. Hey everyone, it's the Player Identity team here to update you with what we're planning for Guardian ranks and commendations. These two systems have been live for about a month now, and we've been discussing how they will evolve since LightFall's launch. First, we want to walk through a few of our goals for these systems that they were designed. Guardian ranks should serve as a guide to let you know what you should be doing to improve your Guardian, especially if you're new to the game. They should also create a social signal to others so that you can quickly glean some information about Guardian skill within Destiny 2. This social signal should also carry meaning season over season. Commendations are meant to create cycles of gratitude so that players are thankful for one another. They should reinforce that the most celebrated Guardians are those who have earned the respect of their peers by helping them out. I get this, but we are also a looter shooter. Where's the reward for the time? That's the disconnect here. Like, if I get to the highest rank, where is my special armor? Where's my special shine, my special emblem? Where all these amazing rewards that said, I made it to the highest level, therefore I can help anyone. It's just not there. So it just feels more like the grind, more like a chore, and I just don't see it. So let's see what happens. Meeting our goals. With a solid amount of data now under our belts, it's clear we missed the mark on some of our goals and needed to make updates based on constructive feedback. While the first batch of Guardian ranks have proven to be an invaluable guide for new lights, we want to improve the system for all players. Thank you. Guardian ranks should be useful guys season over season, which means they should reflect the most recent content in the game. Hitting the highest ranks you can achieve isn't easy, so you should feel pride in showing it across multiple seasons. We also expect players will become annoyed if they had to redo all the basics each season, so we're building in shortcuts to renew ranks you probably achieve even faster. Thank you, because again, that's the whole point about all of this. If it feels like a chore and it's not rewarding, there's no point of doing it. It just basically pushes you away. To that end, we refined the goals for seasonal resets. Players should be able to represent their accomplishment across the whole season, and those who previously completed a Guardian rank should be able to renew that rank quickly in the next season. The social signal should also have meaning each season. The Guardian is rank A, so they should clearly know how to complete a raid. I should join the fire team for the new one. So how would this manifest in the game? Great question. When starting a new season, your rank display to everyone will reflect your highest rank earned last season, and if you achieve a higher rank than you did last season, it will be your new display number. Players renew their previously completed ranks by only completing blue tinting categories in the Guardian rank progression, or the categories will not reset. Ranks you do not renew will fade at the end of the season. Commendation counts will be reset each season to reflect your experience with the newest content. Your commendation score and breakdown will be tracked each season, and you only lose a percentage of your commendation score each season rather than having it reset. Again, that's a good thing, but where's the rewards? What's the point? As the year goes on, it's important that we track your achievement throughout the seasons. In Season 21, we're adding a new display to the journey screen that will show your recent seasonal history. This would include Guardian ranks, commendation score, commendation breakdown, seasonal challenges, and seasonal champ score. Again, none of this, it's really, this is great for the people who like shiny things, but where are the rewards? There are people out there cheesing the heck out of this because it's meaningless. And it just doesn't mean anything. If at the end of rank 10 you tell me that there is going to be a special armor that glows and changes every time, or a special emblem that you can only earn at rank 10, or maybe ornaments for specific guns, or you unlock something special in the game, I'm all for it to go all the way to Guardian 10. Or if you help a whole lot of people, if you get to rank 11, we're going to give you this. That is the whole point of the commendation system, and provide incentives so that players can go out there and do things. But we'll see. Keep reading. Forever 6. We believe several objectives for Guardian ranks were initially overtuned, and we placed too many objectives in certain ranks, leading to the very appropriate mean of most players being Forever 6 at launch. It's true, and honestly, that's not a meme. That's a fact. Why would someone put themselves through all of that if there's no rewards? Like, doesn't make any sense. Like, what? What's the point? And there's no reward at the end. That's the whole issue, Bungie. If you incentivize a player, if you provide a space where it says, for time spent, you will be rewarded with A, something that you can show, something that you can earn. Therefore, go do the activities. Players will do them. If you have nothing to show other than going to the tower, you get a shiny thing for 5 minutes, you leave the tower and it's gone, it's not rewarding. No one's going to do that. So of course it's going to be a meme. And that's the frustration that many players have. We're taking a step back to look how things could be improved, and we're making changes that we believe will make a big difference. For example, shortly after launch, we moved the velocity to completion and flawless objectives at the higher ranks, reduced commendation objective requirements in Guardians ranks 7 to 11, longer term plan for season 21. Returning players will now start at rank 5, and ranking up to 5 to 7 will be faster than it wants to rank 6 to 7 at launch. Rank renewals will be fast tracks, so most players who are quickly renewed rank 7 are playing seasonal content, earning artifact power, completing seasonal challenges, and trying out the newest exotic. Again, it's not about speed, Bungie. It's about rewards. Please respect the player's investment for the reward. That's it. Commendations are great. The fact that I could do a raid or a couple of my buddies and they say, I'm grateful to you. That's all. That's part of the energy. That's part of the synergy. That's part of the great feeling. But if you make requirements like, hey, help 5 people that are brand new to this activity and you'll get this type of commendation and you get this particular emblem or this particular weapon or this particular gun, that's what folks are going to be excited to do. Shiny things don't really matter. Honestly, again, this is the concept about a looter shooter. Reward folks for the effort. That's all. That's why we do this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll plan on remixing rank 6 to 11 to provide a better expression of skill between those ranks. Once these changes are in the wild, we'll continue to monitor data to determine which other long-term changes are needed to ensure we feel good about updated objectives. Loot. That's it. Cosmetics. That's it. That's all you had to change. You provide loot, people will do this. No one will meme your game. That's what we're trying to say. Oh my goodness. Just loot. That's it. But continue on. Commendable objectives. Although it was initially exciting to see over 100 million commendations granted in the first 2 weeks, we're aware that we made the system too closely tied to progression. We know we had to work to get the commendations to a better place, and plans are already in motion. We are retuning some values so active players can be much more deliberate about who they do or don't want to give a commendation without worrying about the amount they give and holding back from their goals. We also recently made it easier to identify and appreciate your favorite teammates by adding 5 seconds to the commendations phase at the end of a PvP match. Awesome. But again, let's take the PvP match, right? Let's say you go hard and you drop 30 kills each game. What's the difference now between a season ago if you do that? You get a thanks, but when you go to the tower, is there an ornament, something waiting for you that says, hey, great job. Here is for helping, 100 Guardians this week to doing this or that. Where is that? Nowhere to be seen. In our update on March 30th, we made additional reductions to commendation requirements so players can reach the milestone much faster. We removed Guardian rank objectives that require players to give recommendations for round 7 to 9. Further reduced the commendation objective requirements from 7 to 9. We reduced hot and really powerful recommendations requirement from 20 to 5. In the coming weeks, we're planning additional updates to make giving and receiving commendations more meaningful, including updating eligible commendation based on active participation or lack thereof, adding a new commendation, best dress. That's cute. Best dress, awesome. Again, rewards. Where are they? Audience Season 21. Objectives to receive leadership commendation in ranks 10 11 will be retroactive for the season, so raising dungeons that you'll leave from day 1 will count towards your progress. That's good. Building social systems is always challenging. Even in a studio with hundreds of people, you never know how things are going to behave in the real world until we're put into the hands of players. The best part about this community is that you're not afraid to give us input. Constructive feedback is always appreciated and essential to helping us get things into the best possible state for everyone, and we'll keep monitoring and evolving our system so they can reach our goals. That's a beautiful photo, by the way. Difficulty adjustments. When we launched LightFall, we kicked off the largest set of difficulty retuning the Destiny franchise has seen since the Taken King, as players started patrolling New Mona and playing Lost Sectors, Nightfalls, and Avalon started mission after completing the campaign. It became apparent that some areas of the game were experiencing unintended behaviors because of this change. For example, the modifiers for Legendary Campaign feel great in single-player campaign missions, scale up to 3 players, but they become oppressive and ritual-focused 3-player activity like Avalon. Even Nightfalls, which have less aggressive enemy HP tuning than the Legendary Campaign, can feel overwhelming when played multiple times in a row. That's true. But one thing about difficulty, it's not just the difficulty, it's also the reward. Because if you tell the player, hey, things are going to be 20% tougher, But guess what? Your rewards are going to increase by 40, 50%. Right now, if you do a lost sector, you can do 5 master lost sectors at the highest difficulty, and you get 0 rewards. So what's the point? And again, that is the miscommunication, the misbalance here. So you can adjust difficulty all you want. You can adjust scalability all you want, behavior. But if the rewards are not there, this is an absolute waste of time. So let's continue. Legend and Master activities. When we feel incoming damage to players is in a great spot in Legend and Master's activities. Non-bonus units have a bit too much health and could feel more like a bullet sponges that we liked. We made some changes to balance things out, starting with these tunings updates that went live on March 30th. Legend and Master activities. Enemy HP scaler reduced by 10%. This includes all non-raid dungeons contests with Legend and Master monitors or monikers. Legendary activities such as legendary campaign missions are generally not affected. Legendary Avalon co-op scale converted to Legend Nightfall levels right in the legendary campaign. Enemies HP should be reduced by 33% in a full firefighter team. Okay, this is good. Can we adjust the rewards now? That's all. That's it. If difficulty, it's always great to have in games, and as long as it's it's accessible, meaning that any person from all walks of life can actually have access to it and be able to do it, and that's great. But reward their time. I guess that's the theme of this entire video. Where are the rewards? Because I'm not seeing them so far. Okay, highest battlegrounds. We think our Nightfall battlegrounds felt great on Heroes, similar to how I played the first time running Season 19 on Legend and Master. However, things were a little less clear. We had some changes in Common Season 20, mid-season patch. Highest battleground marks, decreasing how often combatant will spawn to higher difficulty in the tower phase, increasing the map score multiplier to help reach score goals with exploits, additional ammo crate. Other highest battleground changes, reducing the frequency and number of some combatant waves in all boss fights, reducing the health of Defton choristers or choristers have runes now have the same health on all difficulties, thinning out the fallen trip mines and has battleground moon. Great, but again, rewards, right? I guess you want to know what I just said, right? Rewards. Where are they? New Muna Patrol. When we started building LightFall, we were keenly aware of what a normal patrol sound feels like to any player, passing light, weak enemies do that easily and are only threatening to players in large numbers, or when public event bosses are around. For New Muna, we wanted something different. We wanted to make it always feel dangerous, like a city under siege by powerful enemy forces, where even rank and file enemies can be a threat and powerful enemies demand your attention. In some ways, this should feel unsafe and oppressive. We understand that somewhat of a shock to many players who were suspecting every enemy to be easy prey. After all, we have some strong difficulty modifiers on New Muna. We're pretty satisfied with how we plays after nerfing treasures, how it encourages team play and build crafting in ways patrol zones typically do not, and how it specifically allows many builds to shine. That's fine. The patrol zone. It's an expected patrol zone, so yeah, it doesn't really faze me. I don't spend too much time on it. So yeah, it's all good, I guess. However, we made some adjustments so far. Increase the spawn rate of extra force event in the Vest Execution Zone. Partition activities are now replayable each week after earning your initial Pinnacle Power Reward. Reduce the rate that rank and file red bars enemies are replayed by tougher elite orange bars enemies. Reduce the spawn rates of turrets, specifically in the Heisma. I don't know how to say that. I'm struggling. In a future patch, Soldier Patrols will be easier to complete. Why? They're okay for me, I guess. Tournament Overload. When we heard feedback that the Dreaded Tournament Overload feels empty both before and the event is active and while it's going on during the event, we wanted players to focus on the event enemies rather than fighting generic enemies that didn't get progress towards the event. Due to some technical restrictions, we couldn't accomplish this without removing enemies from the area prior to the event starting. We're investigating new tech that would allow us to be more flexible in a future destination. That's great. Thank you. We did need to do a better job of matching you with Guardians who are interested in a fight and not just driving past on their spirals. However, as a recent update, the Terminal Overload Director node now more reliably matchmakes you with the players who are participating in Terminal Overload. That's good. Lost Sectors. Lost Sectors wanted special attention and some of our solo-only focused in-game activities. While we understand the initial frustration of being on the level early in Season 20 to take on Lost Sectors, we believe the activity levels are appropriate as in-game content for the seasonal ebbs and flow, while acknowledging they require a full power climb with the release of LightFall to reasonably attempt. Fair. As Season 20 continues, and certainly at the start of Season 20, we both feel Legend and Master Lost Sectors will feel very approachable for regular players, and we aren't planning on making the difficulty changes specific to Lost Sectors at this time, aside for the 10% enemy HP scalar reduction that we noted above. We do have some upcoming changes to exotic acquisition to share below, so read on. Hopefully crossing fingers that they are finally going to make them rewarding, because right now they're not. Treasures. The treasures were originally tuned for combat against guardian tanks, which are powerful tools against cabal vehicles that can use auto-targeting to destroy slow-moving treasure missiles. Treasures have always dealt more damage than intended against guardians, but under pre-light, LightFall combat, and lower power levels, they weren't lethal enough to need a nerf. As part of our goal to make the invasion of Humana feel more threatened, we deploy treasures more often than we ever have before, and assign difficulty modifiers previously only seen in Nightfalls. This significantly increased their brutality. That is true. They feel like a raid boss. To reduce this spike, we remove impact direct damage and only left explosive damage for the missiles. In our patch from March 23rd, the maximum damage on a direct hit should now be less than half of what it previously was. That's cool. Vanguard scoring reputation. While it's still a little early to tell if Vanguard scoring bonuses are tuned to our liking yet, we do have a few things to discuss. With LightFall, we return to score multiplier Master and Grandmaster from 2.0, then 2.5 to 1.75 and 2.0 respectively, to make the scoring curve from hero to grandmaster smoother. While this makes for a better play experience, where every strike and field have equivalent to others to rep game at the same difficulty, any pursuit that used single instant score needed to be adjusted to account for this. In a future patch, we will take a pass at low map score multipliers and individual objectives to make sure everything feels better, specifically Guardian ranks, Nightfall scoring objectives, and Legendaries of Eternity bounties. Add a throttle to prevent certain exploits as an optimal score strategy. After Season 20 concludes, we plan on doing a full review of Vanguard scoring over the entire season and may have other tunings to make. But where are the rewards, guys? No mention of rewards. Come on. Exotic armor drop rates. When we built Legend and Master Lost Sectors and Beyond Light, we envisioned them with two main gameplay goals. The players should have a place to test their build solo against endgame content. The players should have a place to acquire new rolls of exotic armor with some amount of determinism. In the years since then, quite a few things have changed. While we left Lost Sectors on cap for combat difficulty and Lightfall, unlike Nightfalls and Raids, we put them on the same activity of other Legend and Master activities, knowing that players might struggle early in Season 20, but eventually will be able to level up and master them. Since we are raising the pinnacle cap in Season 21, players will start the season ready to attack them. However, we also realize we place a lot of pressure on Lost Sectors as exotic armor. We agree they aren't currently a great method for new players to acquire exotic from Beyond Light onward until they've played enough, and that with new activity level changes, they become even less welcoming to many players. We also agree that the utility for targeting specific draw has been getting less reliable as we add more exotic each season, and this will only continue. 100%. I don't understand the point of Lost Sectors. In the past, I used them to do builds to test a few things, but the fact is that if you increase the difficulty and the rewards are lackluster and you cannot focus things, then there's no point to do them. Honestly, I think I stopped doing Lost Sectors a while back, and there's still a few exotics missing because I just don't see the value or the point to it, at least me personally. As such, we made some changes in a recent patch. We increased the exotic drop rates from both Legend and Master Lost Sectors. Thank you. We want to be careful about raising the drop rate too much at a time when the activity itself will be getting easier and easier, especially in light of other changes coming. See below. Okay, we'll see. Once most of the player base completes the yearly power climb, we will again reevaluate completion times and rates for rewards. Lost Sectors aren't the only exotic source in town, though, in an upcoming update. Okay, we'll see. The Best Strike Force event in the Best Incursion Zone will drop a new piece of armor, exotic armor, if you have any left to collect, or a knockout list with no slot limits like Lost Sectors have. Really? Really? Okay. This is good. If you don't have any exotic armor left to collect, it will drop a random exotic roll. Alright. We'll see. We'll be testing. That just gave me a reason to go back to the game right there. We'll see. Coming in Season 20, first, or 21. Now that we covered some of the changes we're focusing during the remainder of Season 20, let's look ahead. We got more quality of life optics in the works of Season 21, in addition to the adjustment coming to Guardian ranks and commendations mentioned earlier. First up, let's hear from the Armor and Expression team about what's being added to build crafting next season. New build crafting updates. We completely revamped the armor mod system and made a lot of changes to how build crafting works in LightFall. I think there was a good quality of life changes. Some of them are really nice. Some of them, there's still a little bit, struggles here and there, but I think overall it was a good change. As always, with such sweeping changes, we anticipate there will be reactions for the community that require us to make adjustments and additions. One of the most common pieces of feedback we receive on the new armor mod system is that players would like to do better, integrate their subclass and their armor mods by having a way to gain armor charge by picking up stasis shards, void breaches, fire sprites, and ionic traces. The artifact perks in Season 20 that allow you to do so with fire sprites has proven to be a popular one, so we decided on a more permanent solution to cover obsessed classes, including strength. This is actually very good. Likewise, many players miss the ability to build into being able to get armor charge without having to get up right into the thick of things. While the increased number of ways to generate orbs of power warrants requiring guardians to push forward into the combat arena to collect them and gain their armor charge, we do not provide some ways for players to opt in to a more generous collection method through build crafting. That's fair. So, we're adding 2 new armor mods in Season 21 to replace some key features that many players were missing from their pre-LightFall builds. Powerful Attraction. When using your class ability, you collect the orbs of power within a radius determined by the number of copies of mods you have equipped. That's cool. This side note, there's requests for a Seeking Orbs mod that would allow orbs to track to you did not fall on deaf ears. However, adding such functionality to an object that is spawned as frequently in such numbers and for all fire team members, not just the creator, could create memory, performance, or latency issues. That's fair. Elemental charges. Collecting a subclass collectible associated with your damage type. Fire sprites, ionic traces, stasis shards, void breaches has an escalating chance to grant you a stack of armor charge. On strength, this is granted by destroying tangles. The side note, the frequency of gaining a stack of armor charge is tuned differently for each collectible to account for the differences in frequency and volume of creating these collectibles. This is good too. Additionally, we have a change coming to shoot to loot weapon perk in Season 21. Shoot to loot can be used to loot orbs of power in addition to ammo boxes. The side note, we did evaluate also having the perk allowed to collect fire sprites, stasis shards, and other subclasses spawn objects to be but technical limitations that made this unfeasible at this time. As we mentioned, shortly after LightFall's launch, we're also bringing 3 new strand aspects to LightFall owners in Season 21 to open up even more build crafting possibilities, and we'll have more to share on what to expect from these closer next season launch. As a reminder, this will be Titan, Flashing Storm, Hunter, Threaded Spectre, Warlock, the Wanderer. Artifact perks refunds. In Season 21, we added the ability to refund and apply individual artifacts perks with a single click. We wanted to get this in for the launch, but for technical limitations prevented it until next season. This will make overall build crafting much faster, so you'll be able to adjust your passive perks on the fly without having to reset the entire artifact. This is a good quality of life. Thank you. Seasonal Ritual Challenge Schedule. Seasonal Ritual Schedule. We're constantly looking for new ways to improve our ritual schedule and have a couple of changes that players have requested for a while that we feel great about trying. In week 1 of Season 21, we're planning to run Trials of Osiris. Since we won't have a power raise of any time in Season 21, we can run trials earlier than usual with a reasonably level playing field. We're hoping that this can be an ongoing change. If it's a week where no race is launching, no Iron Banner is running, and no significant power climb is introduced, we think we should run Trials of Osiris as early as possible. This is good. I'm sure all the streamers out there are like super excited. All my colleagues and buddies are jumping for joy out of this one. So that's good. Good for them. And week 4, Season 21, we're aiming to make Grandmaster Nightfalls available. That's cool. Without the seasonal power climb and with the requirement level changes we added during Season 19, we believe we can successfully launch Grandmasters earlier. This is good. Now, note this is only for the weekly Grandmaster. The Conquering Guilty mode is still planned to open in week 7. Why? Oh, man. So you basically that means we had to do them all over again in week 7? Come on, guys. You can do better than this. We go 5 steps forward, 14 back. I don't get this. Man, we were such in a good high, right? We were amping up and we're doing great. And then, boom, straight back down. All right, let's go. Exotic Armor Focusing. We're adding Exotic Armor Focusing to Rahul in Season 21. When this goes live, all exotic engrams, aside from drops and activities that are exotic, Lost Sector, Vest Strike Force, Nightfalls, will no longer out of the crypt. This will set in your engram inventory and can be focused on and at 2 different tiers. This is good. Thank you. Okay. This is really good. I like this. This is really, really good. So, okay, maybe not, I'm not down that much. I went back up. Advanced Decryption. Focus on exotic engram to a specific entitled release, Shadow Kit, Beyond Light, The Witch Scream, etc. Just like now, exotics that came out alongside seasonal release are always included in the previous yearly entitlement. Cost is 1 exotic engram, 1 ascended shard, and 30,000 glimmer. That's fair. We can do this. Focus decoding. Look at this. This is pretty cool. This is actually kind of nice. Okay, we can see this. One thing though, hopefully the exotics don't drop, with a level of 50 or 49, because that would defeat the purpose of this. I mean, it's good that you get to open that exotic that you're missing, if this is what I think it is or how it's going to work. But I'm also hoping that it doesn't drop at 49, because again, it defeats the purpose. The whole point of being able to spend that kind of resources to decode an exotic. So I'm just hoping, for the best on this one. Precision description. Directly focus the exotic armor you want. Therefore, it will have a higher cost. 1 exotic engram, 3 is in the charts, 60,000 glimmer, and 1 exotic cipher. Now we plan to raise the exotic cipher stack limit from 1 to 5. That's good. As before, you'll still be able to decrypt them around Rahul with no focusing for free. Know that you can get new pieces of exotic armor from focusing, so you need to collect them from the Vex Strike Force event or lost sectors in the meantime. That's fine. In the future, we are looking to move acquire new armor to a more accessible location. This is good, as long as they drop with a nice, energy level, because if it drops to 49 or 50, it completely defeats the purpose, honestly. I mean, you can still, why spend so much resource to get something that is utterly useless to your build? Might as well just go farm it someplace else and see if you get luckier, right? So we'll see. More to come. We also have several more updates we think you'll love coming in Season 21, but we're saving the details for when we're closer to the reveal of the season. Here's a preview with a few. We're grading more than 15 on our low-performing exotic armors and rolling them out balanced just to several others. This is awesome. We'll have some exciting news for players who enjoy improving their raid and dungeon exotic drop changes to triumphs. Great. We're taking a pass at team unfriendly Vanguard bounties requiring specific weapons or ability kills and more. Thanks again to everyone who's been on this journey with us so far, whether a new light or a 9-year veteran. As always, keep your feedback coming, and let us know what you think about everything we covered today, our Destiny 2 team accounts. Overall, some good things, some things I'm still concerned about, because the point of this game itself is a looter shooter. We do this for rewards. So it doesn't matter how many systems you introduce across the board, 20, 50, 80, 90. If you don't give a reason to players to earn something in return for time investment, this is why they move away. The system doesn't work. So the commendations and some of the highlights, seals, and what have you that we have, while they all great, they don't mean much. They just they just last a few moments. People are going to cheese them. People are going to continue to meme because there are no reasons to go after them. Just because we have it, just play the game should be enough. Honestly, with so many games out there who are rewarding you for your time investment and for the experience, this just doesn't cut it anymore. You have to create a pathway for a new player or a veteran to say, if I invest my time, what is the reward that I get? Not just some thing on the screen. Where's the gun? Where's the emblem? Where's the cosmetic? Where's the armor that said I spent 40 hours grinding and this is what I got? One of the reasons why people meme a lot about Gambit, but when Gambit Prime was around, you had special armors, you had special roles, and one of the rarest triumphs is Reckoner, and we meme a lot on Gambit, but Gambit did something right. You felt rewarded for your time investment. You're positioned. You felt rewarded. The guns, the cosmetics, everything about that spectrum felt special, and we don't have that. And that is what I'm trying to get at. This is my feedback to Bungie. If you're going to create systems, please make sure that there's a reward at the end. If you want me to get to a level 11, put a pathway for me that says, if you have 50 people or 100 people, not only you're going to get these commendations, you're going to get this emblem that says you are the greatest helper ever. Or if you grind to, the massive, PvP rank of them all, there should be an emblem that says, go touch grass. You're that good and only you can get this emblem at this rank. And here is a special armor, a special helmet, special class thing that you get because you earned that. Where is that? And it's the point that I'm trying to get from the beginning is if we don't have places to be rewarded for the time investment and all we do is recycle and repeat and repeat and repeat, people are going to get tired. This is why you had such a high player movement at the beginning. But at the end, people, if you see the reviews and critiquing the story and critiquing all these things, it's because there's no pathway for that. And people are going to meme, and people are going to walk away, and people are going to give you feedback. And here's the thing, Bungie. We have given you this feedback for years. This is not new, and I'm still don't understand why you haven't gotten it. I really don't. This is my favorite game, and I hate it sometimes, but I love it. And this is part of the reason why we've been saying for so long that you move in the right direction so many ways, and then you go backwards 40. And I don't understand that. Just if you can all get into a room and just put this inside your brain, just write a sentence across the board that says the following: for every activity, there will be a reward that is worthy of the player's time investment. If you can add that across the entire game, this is fixed. This is solved. That's all you need to do. Please, for every activity, for everything that we do, for something new, let's make sure that the player is rewarded for the time invested. That's all. If you do that, my goodness, problem solved. And I don't understand. This is a looter shooter. So please, Bungie, help me help you. Love you all. Thank you all for listening. Me rant again. It's been a while since I've done a Destiny 2 related video. And part of that is because I think I've been holding my tongue for so long as to I don't understand the direction the game is going. And I'm glad that there is some clarity here, but I'm still not seeing the clarity that I need, that I'm expecting from having a really detailed sort of conversation with the community about things that need to happen. And they are simple. This is a looter shooter. Please make it so. This is Doc. Thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you all. Till next time. Have a good one. Bye.